Alright, so what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be making a fractal artwork. So great, sound is good. Hey, how's it going? My friend just joined us. So we're gonna be making a fractal artwork today, which basically means that we're gonna be using a program called Chaotica. And let me show you just a little bit what that is. So if I switch to this one right here, we can see, we can see on the screen right here, this is the web page of the program. It's called Chaotica Fractals. Now this is basically a program that is designed to create fractal structures, which are basically, you could think about it as like math formulas dancing together and creating visual art from them. Very, very interesting. And basically, to get this, you can click on the red button right here, try the free version, or you can buy it. Now, the difference between trying out the free version and buying it is basically you can render in much higher resolution if you purchase it. So I have this license right now, but for some reason it won't activate because I reinstalled Windows on my computer. But besides the point, I recommend that you try it out first. So click the red button right here, and then you can just download it for Windows and Mac or Linux, whatever distribution of operating system that you have. So that's how you do that. And once you have that all set up, you have this program running on your computer called Chaotica. And basically, in order to get started, what I would recommend is just click on the button right here, New Random Worlds. So when we do that, we get these options right here. So these are basically just random fractal artworks that get created once you play around with this. So you just sort of browse through them and you can see sort of what kind of shapes are available. Once you find something that you like, let's say this one, you can just click on it. Then it starts rendering on the computer. So the resolution of this render right here is 1400 by 1800 by 800, and this is just gonna churn along and render through a couple of cycles, and with each cycle of render it'll get more detailed and more detailed. So if I refresh the cycles by moving it, if I hold Alt while clicking on with a mouse button, I can sort of move the canvas around. If it wants to work. Oh, there we go. Okay, my computer is a little bit bogged down right now, but it's okay. And you can see sort of the dots turn into more smooth gradients as the render cycles start to kick in, and the whole thing becomes more smooth and looks better. So what I'm thinking about doing is basically I don't know, I'm thinking about either selecting one of these pictures or have the chat vote on it, but there's a little bit of delay between the chat and what we're seeing, so I'll have to wait for a considerable amount of time until you see what's available here. Not much delay, okay. Just a little bit of delay, okay. I guess it's probably okay then. So if I press New Random Worlds, let's see how much delay do we have. It's about 12 seconds. Okay, so I got 12 seconds of delay. there's something that really screams out to us, then we can just sort of stop on that and go with it. Is there anything in the chat?
I'm on my way.
Okay. Okay, so let me know in the chat if there's something that really speaks out to you from these pictures. And okay, I've already moved on. So that's one of the things about this program, is that once you've clicked new random worlds, the old ones are gone forever. You probably never ever find them again. So sort of have to pick and choose. Is there anything you like here? I'm thinking maybe the blue one right here in the middle. This one. Okay. What does the chat say? Okay. Stormy likes it. That's great. Okay. So we're gonna let the blue one render just for a little while, and then we are going to export that into the iPad and work with the fractal on the iPad. Now, just to show you what this specific fractal looks like, we can sort of just zoom into it and zoom out of it. So if I go ahead and zoom out of it, you should be able to see it in full detail. So zooming even further away, we can see this is what this specific fractal structure looks like. Very chaotic, a lot of curves and shapes and colors going on right here. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and set it up sort of like this. I like this. A little bit to the right. Okay, so I'm gonna let this render for a few moments, and then I will export it and start working on it. Alright, so how are you all doing? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I used to make fractals on the PC. Oh really? What program did you use, Stormy? Was it the same one as this one, or did you use a different one? Have you ever tried the 10-minute, 1 minute and 10-second challenge? You mean making something in 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 1 minute? I mean, we can do that just right now if you want. So maybe make a 10-second artwork. Okay, sure, okay, I'm down. Okay, so let me prepare at least first. So I'm gonna select a brush, something that I like. Let's pick. Oh geez, 10 seconds. That's so such a small amount of time. Okay. I mean, there are a couple of different fractal softwares out there, but some of the ones that I've tried using, they have been fairly complicated. Like just setting up and just getting something out of it can be like a real hassle. Let me see. Okay, let me use this set right here. Okay, 10 seconds. Jesus. I'm gonna do that. 10-second challenge. Yeah, okay, take the time. Okay, give me 15 seconds. Is that okay? 15 seconds. Oh, yeah. How you get Chaotica. So you get Chaotica basically if you go to this website right here, chaoticafractals.com, and you can download the free trial version and just use that. It's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, so it should be set if you have a computer. Pretty cool. Now, the free version is limited to 1.23 megapixels, but if you purchase the program, you can get higher resolutions. So 10 minutes to get a picture. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, let me see. Just freehand. Okay, I haven't started drawing. Okay. Okay. Just gonna make sure the palette is selected and active. Let's use this one. And go. Okay, so I'm duplicating them, flipping them. Okay, that's what I was able to do. 15 seconds. Masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. So this will be available on the website for 100,000 Icelandic kroner or something. Okay, so 15 seconds is not a lot of time. That's sort of what we figured out here. When selecting a canvas size, how do you know what canvas to use? DPI, if you want to launch. Okay, so basically selecting the canvas itself, it's really dependent on what you want to do with it. So if we were to make a large scale print, you'd have to first figure out how large do you want the print to be. And of course, basically you do that. You can do that simply here, and switching it to centimeters or inches, like for the ones in the empirical system. And then we simply type how large we want the canvas to be, 300 inches or something. And then the DPI, basically, if you are doing something for just social media, if you want to post something on Instagram, stuff like that, you can keep the DPI to a lower amount, like probably like 150, about there should be just fine. 300 DPI is really good, like Stormyard says. If you want to print it, I would recommend 300 or higher, depending on like how detailed you want the print to be. Some printers can go very, very fine, and at that point, you might just want to calibrate your canvas to that. But like in general, if you're just making something that you want to put on the web, you can sort of just adjust the DPI to fit that. Basically, the higher the DPI, the larger the picture is going to be, because there's going to be more information contained in the same amount of space. So 300 DPI is going to 300 points in this area. 100 DPI is going to be 100 points in this area. It's just going to be less information, smaller file size. Alright, so 1 minute. Oh, okay. 1.5. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna use this palette. Let's start from dark to bright. Just gonna select the background and go. Yeah. Just duplicate this. Okay, gonna turn on symmetrical drawing and do a quadrant and use a modified pencil, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do something like this on a new layer and use the blue one. Drawing is just on. bright emanating from the center here. Sort of an explosion coming from the center, shooting outwards. Something like this, maybe. Maybe we can duplicate that. What happens if we flip it and darken one of it? No. Right. Let's see. Purple. And spider. Yeah, maybe it looks something like a spider. No. Okay. 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 What was that? 1.5 minutes. Really short amount of time. Like just a comparison. The picture that I made for the last video, where is it? This one right here. This one right here. It took canvas information. This one took about 21 hours to make. And about 13.5 thousand strokes. I want to show you one thing. It's kind of interesting. So I've been playing around with animations in Procreate, basically using the time-lapse replay as a way to make something move. I'm thinking about doing something with this in the future. Stay tuned for that. Anyways, what's next? Oh wait, we have the fractal. Okay, so this one has been rendering for quite a while, 10 minutes approximately. So I'm going to save this world. Fractals are called worlds, and just called AD1. And I'm just gonna save this image as a PNG. Sort of previews of things that I've been making using Chaotica. Okay, so let me just go ahead. Okay, so while I transfer this fractal image to my iPad, I'm going to show you what I was doing today. So I live in Iceland, and there's this thing called Design March going on in Reykjavik right now. And there's a lot of like very talented designers and artists which are popping up all around the city, and galleries are opened, and a lot of things going on in the city. I'm just gonna show you a small little clip that I took from my iPhone and edited on the iPhone while I transfer this over to the iPad. So just gonna play that while I do that. Alright, let's do that. How to make shadows. Shadows for objects.
At this moment, no one can tell where we should go. Oh, it's coming.
So now, all right. So that was just short preview of what was happening during design week. So I'm going to download this on the iPad right now. Just go ahead and go into this mode right here. Can show us how to make a nice shadow for objects that won't make them look like they're floating. Like they're floating. Floating above the layer or floating below the layer. Can you maybe elaborate? Download the picture. Okay. Well, I can maybe show you just a little bit how I would approach that. Like so. Sorry about that. Import a photo. There we go. Okay. Think fast, karate chop. Hot space ghost in the karate chop here. Okay, watch out for him. Right, so here we have the picture basically from Chaotica. I've basically uploaded it to Google Photos and then downloaded it back to the iPad from Google Photos. Now, one of the things to note is it's not a lot of resolution that we have to work with here, mainly because this is the trial version of the program. If I got the license to work, that would have been much better. I could have basically made this as large as we wanted. Now, let's just go ahead and start making something from this. So the first thing that I really want to do is duplicate it and flip it just to see what it does. Okay, interesting. That looks quite interesting. So I basically put the above layer to linear burn, color burn. Okay, a lot of possibilities here. I'm gonna group them up. So I've selected them both, made a new group. yeah, that's a good point. That looks like a cat. Yeah, I can see it now. Wow. Okay, we can maybe work with that. But if it's abstract, should we make it a cat, or should we completely distort it and make it something unrecognizable? Let me know in the comments down below in the chat what you want. Should we try to make it into a sort of a weird cat creature, or should we keep it abstract? Stormy says distort. That's fun. Okay, fun and distort. Okay, I like it. I like how you think. Okay, let's try that. So I'm gonna basically call this backup, so that we have backup of the original file, and I'm gonna hide that. Now I'm going to duplicate it again and flatten it. I usually destroy the backup, so I like to keep backup of the backup. It's just a OCD thing, I guess. Alright, anyway. Let's add another picture. Unrecognizable. Okay. Hello, ARF. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so go to art. So this is the library that I've been talking about in the previous videos. So it's about 1200 or so pictures of all sorts of stuff which we can use in order to compose whatever we want. So sorry, I'm scrolling way too fast probably through this. Basically we can just pick sort of any of these pictures and overlay them and, you know, distort them and pass through and, you know, do whatever we want. So we have this fractal looking cat creature. That's a weird thing to say. And I'm thinking, I don't know, this one calls out to me. I'm just gonna rotate it, fit it to the screen, and let's see if we can make something. Okay, I like the colors. Okay. I want to have this one on top, so I am going to invert this and use a sort of different blending mode on it. I really want to lose the white on the fractal cat. What should we name him? The fractal cat. Maybe it shouldn't have a name because we're about to destroy it. Right. Okay, so basically just playing around with the blending modes in order to figure out if there's something that's really speaking out to me. Oh yeah. It always looks like something. Gonna do my best to make it not look like anything. So, ooh. Interesting. We've got like a couple of really bright orangey red spots. Tokoto, my cat Tokoto died last week. Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry about that story. Tiger Millionaire. Need to take a page out of your book. Well, thank you so much, Odd Space Ghost. In with a karate chop. Okay. Yeah, I like the orange. It's quite nice. Now you might be seeing this thing pop up a lot. So basically, oops. Sorry about that. Oh, it's the magnetic cover. Just gonna remove that magnetic cover. It's only causing trouble. So what I was talking about was basically whenever I tap anywhere on the canvas, I get the quick selection. So that's what's happening there. And it's basically, you go to the gesture controls, quick menu, and basically it's there, the touch. You choose whatever you want for that. Anyways, that's what is happening there. Yes, so let me just go ahead and do the same thing for this. Keep a backup of it, duplicate it, hide the first one, flatten this one, and now I wanna duplicate this group right here, so we have a backup of it. I'm gonna select both of these layers, and I am going to liquify and just sort of start playing around with the colors. So first things first, let's put a drawing guide on it, so it looks symmetrical on the horizontal, on the vertical axis, sorry. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it on the vertical axis right here, symmetry, and let's do something like this. Now whenever I draw something, it will be basically replicated in both axes. So we can go into the effects or adjustments, liquefy. Now because we have the adjustment layer on, we can sort of, oh geez, the cat is smiling so much now. That's just disturbing. Let's distort this puppy. Okay.
So you can learn to be kind.
Bring this in a little bit. Let's just start getting warped.
Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess like Alice.
I also have the,
First hand me
what's your Instagram? If you want to follow.
then bring out the heavy
Okay,
artillery.
yeah.
Yo, Justice is my middle name. I'm
Did you post the Instagram?
Alice.
Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. Thank you.
Dear Queen of Hearts, I'ma
Okay, so.
grow you white roses.
So basically, yeah, I have the
Learn to be kind.
assisted drawing also bound to this little button right here, so you can quickly access it just with a tap. It makes it really easy to just go from this mode to this mode. So, really handy. And again, you do that in the preferences, gesture controls, and then assisted drawing. Tap on the action button. Alright, so I'm going to select this sort of orangey color right here, and let's just start.
Dear Queen of Hearts, I'ma grow you white roses, so you can learn to be kind. Tell King of Hearts to honor his forces,
Autumn
so
tea.
you can
Oh, yeah.
learn to be kind.
We're going to be adding like adjustment layers on top of this, so don't worry about the actual colors that I'm laying down. It's just more for reference.
We had our ups and downs, baby. Sometimes we were tight, and sometimes oceans.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm coloring in the color palette on top of this composition, and then I'm gonna use blending modes in order to basically blend it into the composition without like saturating it too much. I'm just gonna sort of give it a subtle effect. Like this. I like this cyan sort of green that's going on right here. Accentuate that just a little bit. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the stream, I'm gonna make this Procreate file available to everyone, and then I'm going to have a Dropbox link, so that you can sort of play around with this specific file, and then submit it, and then we'll take a look at your submissions in the next stream, so we can just sort of see where you go with this fractal cat or whatever it is called. Sounds good?
was smooth and sometimes
so
out
I'm
of
going to see
control.
if I can
Gotta learn
nice
just
effect.
how to be fine without you. Be fine without you. When you call me up and sound so sweet, there's nothing to blame. But when you don't pick up for days on end, I see my mistake. I'm out of patience.
lighting screen.
Come out and say
Okay.
that
Tune
it's
down.
over now, so I can stop
Outline.
chasing.
There's something up on the screen. Live actions. Oh, never mind. Okay. Something like this. Now I'm going to add a
We had our ups and downs,
a contrast layer.
sometimes
basically
we were tight and sometimes oceans apart.
A little bit of darkness
Gotta
behind
learn
it.
just how to
This is
move
over. So okay. So
without
basically
you.
this one right here
Move on without
is
you.
overlaid on top of this one. So if I put the darkness layer between these, I should be able to paint basically only on top of this one right here. So turn on assisted drawing. Just gonna sort of give it a little bit of three-dimensionality here. Fractal cat.
I've been in your waters, been knocking at your door. I know one thing for sure,
Wondering what's
I've never been so
to do with this
close before.
bottom thing right here. Okay, let's see.
It's one
I'm
way
going to
or the
add
other.
another picture. Something green. Something green, pretty. Maybe the rose, yeah. It's a little bit that. Maybe it's in the theme. No. Maybe a leaf, yeah. That's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to go with this over there. This one. Okay. Full screen it. And now I'm just going to mask it. And then tap on the mask, invert it. So now I can paint it in. Select on white. And now I can just sort of paint in the grass. And if I turn drawing assist on, just sort of give it some textured effect from a completely different picture. Yeah, and the blue is really sticking up on the ears. I don't want to give it too much, so I can also give it a blending mode. Or just simply reduce it just a little bit, keeping the balance. But yeah, I agree, the ears are a little bit too prominent here. Let's reduce it just a little bit like so. Okay, okay, we're getting somewhere. So, I am thinking about stopping here and then we can have you basically work on this. So I'm gonna make this available to you, and you can play around with it, do whatever you like, and maybe I can do a 10-minute challenge, 5-minute challenge in the meantime. So I'm gonna make this available on Dropbox, and just export that. Should we play the video again? Sure. Alright, so I'm gonna play the Design March video again while I work on that. Be right back in 1 or 2 minutes. Alright. The Dropbox thing in the description is where you can submit your own Procreate files. So if you want to basically send something to me, Procreate files that is, then I can access those basically through that link. So the link that is in the description of this live stream, you can use that to send me Procreate files. And I'm going to add another link in a few minutes where you can download this artwork. Alright, let me just work on that. It's such a weird thing. So it's still uploading. Didn't give it a proper name. It's called Untitled. I'll probably fix that. Now, one thing about the fractal images, if you render out a fractal image in like full resolution, maybe 4K or something like that, the file, once you import it into the iPad, it's like 1 gigabyte or something like that. It's really, really big files. Okay, so let's do live stream. Okay. So let me just go ahead and share this link with you. Put the link. Can you maybe paste this into the chat? So I'm gonna paste the Jonny is gonna paste it into the chat. You should see it in just a few minutes. Did you find his Instagram? Yeah, okay. So, how are we on time? Yeah. Alright, so I think we can move on to the drawing challenge. try 10 minutes.
Give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're
Just getting ready. So one of my favorite brushes to use is this one right here. For this, mainly because it can go quite thick. Were you able to paste it? Okay. So Jon is gonna paste the link to the artwork in the comments.
so slow. Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by. A thunderstorm, a lightning strike.
There we go.
As we hold
Okay.
each other tight. You're the rose in a garden,
So here,
and it shows if I'm honest.
let's show. Okay.
You're the leaves
I had to allow the link to show. Oh, there we go.
I've come out here to say.
Right, if someone pastes the link in the chat, then it gets automatically paused. I have to allow it to show. Okay, so. Okay, I have an idea. 10 minutes. Are we ready? Ready? One and go. Okay, I'm going to put a quadrant like this. I'm going to use the studio pen, black.
You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say, you're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you.
What am I drawing? That's a good question. Should I try to narrate what I'm making? So I'm doing a line to connect to this line. Okay, so maybe a little bit about this type of drawing. What I try to keep in mind when I'm making things like this is continuity and like trying to think ahead. And what I mean by that is like if I'm making a shape like this, instead of going all the way and closing it off like so, creating just a boring arch, I maybe stop here and then I continue here, and then I think about like what do I want to do with this space afterwards. So I do something like this, and then maybe continue with it here, and then let's do a thing that goes from here to there to there, and now I have this line sort of going here, and so it's a sort of a trying to solve my own puzzle while I'm working on it. It's a sort of a, but really what I'm doing is just fooling around. We're on a budget of time. How are we on time? 2 minutes 50 seconds.
got lost inside the blue of those eyes. I've gotta let her go. I know it won't be easy. I wanna hold her close, but I have to try as hard as I can, 'cause she'll never be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt before. She will never know that I love her so. She's with somebody else and I will have to let her go. She will never know,
So right here, like what I want to do is I want to connect this line to this line. So the way to do that is to go underneath some things and go above some things. So what I mean by that is once I have a line running straight across like so, I don't want to go just through it, because, well, that's not really how things sort of look in nature, unless I do a sort of a shadow and maybe have this as a peak. So what I want to do is skip ahead somewhere like here, go underneath here, come back up here, maybe stop there, and then go there. And then it's always just a sort of a question of adding more and more until this becomes a controlled anxiety attack. That's what art is, basically. Oh jeez. So how's the time? 5 minutes. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna do this. And let's use this as the reference. So I'm gonna turn on reference. Now I talked about this in my previous video, the one that I uploaded last time. And so basically put this as a reference, create a new layer, and turn on assisted drawing on this layer. And now I'm just gonna sort of start filling it in. So I'm filling in on the top layer. Bright pink there, maybe sort of a not really colorful palette. I'll switch it to, let's see, something which has similar colors. This one, let's go with this one. Swept me off my feet and made me whole again. You came in my life. I wanna see your face. Way too much. Now I have to sort of figure out how this sort of flows together. This doesn't work here. This logic doesn't work. I want to have this as a separate thing. But let's just go with it. This one there.
I know that I've been going back and forth.
How's the chat doing?
I know that I've been leaving you with questions. I know I should, but I don't wanna fall.
Okay.
I know with you I have to
Relaxed watching, that's great. 2 minutes left. Oh jeez. Okay. So let's go ahead and add this thing. Yep. Okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna hide this. Now I'm going to completely distort this. Was it a 15? Oh, it was a 15. That's great. Then I had a couple of extra minutes. Okay. Let's do a couple of extra minutes. Just so we have a little bit more to work with. It was 15 minutes all along. So, just using the smudge tool here to smudge things out. The smudge tool is really good for creating just these sort of streaks and streaks and strokes. Because the liquefying tool, it sort of keeps the paint too well together in a way. So if you wanna mix the paint together, it doesn't really mix, as you can see. It just sort of creates this marbly looking effect. Well, let's just undo that. So I like to mix it together first with the smudge tool. Like our Lord and Savior Bob Ross said, "There are only happy accidents." Has anyone tried painting painting from Bob Ross? Like using one of his tutorials?
When I go down, and you see clear. When I go blind, when I fall hard, you turn me around. And oh, I hope you always be around. The show is over now. You finally know it's you, and you only so hard trying to show it. Give you my all. I promise I'll be good. Waiting for answers. But now it's up to you. Now it's up to you. I'm waiting. Now it's up to you. Now it's up to you. Oh, I'm waiting.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind?
3.5.
Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around. Wanna see it now?
Okay, well, make it look a little bit natural.
Pack our bags and
Like
get
this is
in
sort
that
of
car.
stretching from this fabric
Leave a
here.
little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out.
Just love the kind of details that you can get with the smudge tool.
Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take
Okay,
my
spending way too much time on the details here.
Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the black car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city.
Pink one.
Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand? That we only get one life.
Can recolor this. Using recolor. Lower the threshold. Increase the threshold. Not doing a particularly good job.
Get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air.
Something like this.
Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday.
1 minute left. Okay. So let's finish off with. Yeah, why not? Let's add the fractal. Just create it. Give it a lights and effect.
Gravel road, I'm filled with promises.
I'll go full on with it and mask it out, invert the mask. Then I'm gonna draw it out on the mask. Draw it just on, so I'm just sort of painting some of the areas here. Alright, so I think that is it for the time. Alright. I think that's fine. That's fine. I'd like to get rid of the white areas right here. These ones. But alright, so that was what we were able to do. Now, how's the chat going? Music. I'm trying to do a test sent in Dropbox. Let's just say my iPad is not being particularly fast. Were you able to upload to the Dropbox? Oddly spaced ghost. Oddly space ghost. Sorry, odd space ghost. Let me know if you were able to make that work. But anyways, I think that's gonna be it for the stream tonight. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking about is the time, like for the next stream. I know that a lot of my viewers are in America, so it's probably not a particularly good time for my American viewers. What time would work out better? What is a nice time to watch a stream? Do let me know in the chat or the comments down below. Anyways, aside from that, I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this stream, and really nice hanging out with all of you, and looking forward to the next one. Until then, thank you, and see you in the next one. Alright. And oh yeah, the links will all be in the description. Once this live stream is done, it will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, so you can find all the links and all that in there. Thank you all so much for coming and being a part of the stream.